Welcome everyone to our live chat. Today it is, what is it today? June the 2nd. This is Toni Weel and Sarah from Virtuous Unicorns, and we start another hour with our health Q&A and welcome guests to come on live on the show. I apologize for last week. It was absolutely last minute. I had some odd Wi-Fi connection, and I figured in the morning, early in the morning, let's call Comcast, get this fixed before we do this live chat. And of course, then Comcast started checking things out, and all of a sudden I did not have internet, definitely did not have Wi-Fi. So I was thinking, okay, I can do it from outside. I can do it on my cell phone. And then the neighbor started mowing, and I was like, no, that's not going to work. So I had to give up and just cancel the whole show. So my apologies for that. Last night, Comcast delivered a completely new modem, and it looks like nothing. There are no lights on it like usual. So I'm kind of curious to see how that works, but I was smart enough to not touch it for now because, sorry, with the old modem, once I had been fiddling around with all the cables, all of a sudden it was stable. So I was like, do not touch anything until this call. So I didn't. It's still all the old stuff. And this afternoon, I'm going to install the new one and see what's going to happen.
So, yep, that's always a good idea. Don't touch it if it's working.
No, don't touch anything while it's working. So I'm like, I'm very careful and it's close to my computer, to not touch or move anything on the desk. It's like, okay. Because what happened with it, when you have a modem and it goes bad and you have this spotty Wi-Fi, it's off and on and off and on. For the internet, it doesn't really matter that much, but when you're on a phone and your phone is connected to the Wi-Fi, the call stops immediately. So then it takes about 5 minutes to get back on, and then you can call again. Well, when I'm on a coaching call, that is rather annoying and not pleasant, not for me and not for my clients. So it's whoever experienced that, my apologies. Now I know what it is and get it fixed. So we'll see how that goes this afternoon. Last week, I had the intention of talking about allergies because the topic allergies came up so many times. And I had just read an article from that was, what is his name? That is Mr. Give me a second. I just printed it out, so I have it handy. It doesn't have the name on it, but I think it's from T.C. Fry. And that was about allergies, hay fever, and other chronic diseases. And then I thought, well, I learned from Dr. Morse. The first thing he always says is, when you have allergies, look at the adrenals. Or the lymph, no, I'm sorry. I say this completely wrong. Look at the lymph system. It is related to the lymph stagnation. But when you look at that, it's like, this is where we always need to go. If you want to heal something in our body, see if your kidneys are working properly, if they are filtering adequately, if the lymph can move, if you do things to help move the lymph. And because otherwise it gets like thick and stuck and you get the lymph node problems. And I think in our lives, we all experience that one time or another. I know I did pretty bad, actually, to a point that I had like it looked like a swelling that was a grape size, and it's scary and painful. And I've had them before, not realizing what it really was. Good thing is now we know and can handle, with that information in mind. But it always comes down to food. And there are people that have so many allergies and they think it is for the rest of their lives. And it's not. And it may be a slow change, but it can change. And yeah, and Sarah, I know that you mentioned the allergies because you have them. I would love to hear what you found out about it and how things have been changing for you with your change in diet.
Yeah. So this year, though, for some reason, I don't understand what is going on, but even just yesterday, we were out, we were kind of down like in a preserve area, and I could see those, they look like the dandelion, like after you blow the dandelion, it's all white. It was just, there was so much of it all over the ground, and my one eye swelled up and started itching like crazy. We were kind of like driving around with the windows down and everything, which I've never had that happen before. So, my conspiracy mind is always like, what are they spraying on us? Or what have they changed? But anyway, I just don't know if it's more this year or what is going on, or maybe I'm going through another phase of some kind of detox. I'm not really sure, but this year's been a little bit more rough than I ever remember. But yeah, I mean, like I've had asthma in the past. I don't have it anymore. I did use some herbs. I cannot remember because it was over like 10 years ago. They were liquid though. I was seeing a naturopath at that time, but cleaning up your lymph system and getting that mucus out. Dr. Morse said, if you have mucus, you're dying. You may not be dying today, but you're dying if you have mucus. So definitely getting that mucus out and just trying to really eat clean. And we talked, I think, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, I think it was in Toni, about oranges and orange juice, that orange juice is very pulling and it does help to pull mucus out of your head and whatnot too. So definitely stick with it and do not eat like any kind of dairy by any means, because that'll cause more mucus for you. And just try to stick to fruits and eating really clean, and drink your water too. I'm not a big fan of drinking water, but I do try to force myself to do it as much as I can, because that will help to at least eliminate. But the fruit juice is what's going to be the hydrating for you.
Yeah, Dr. Morse said fruit juice is what gets in your cell. Water does not really, but it helps you move out the toxins.
And maybe help thin out the mucus. Even when a long time ago, when my son was sick, I was talking to a pharmacist, and the pharmacist told me, don't ever give him any over-the-counter medicine. Always just give him water. And he said that will thin everything out. And my son's never been on an antibiotic ever. And I think the most medicine he's ever had was like maybe an allergy pill or some Benadryl. But they always just said water. So we would do steam showers and water if he would get anything. And that's pretty much how we've kind of gotten through.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with 2 allergies when I had what they called in the Netherlands asthmatic bronchitis when I was in my early 20s. And very scary episode that I had. And of course, they did an allergy test. And what came out is that I was allergic for, the fumes from cars and smoke. So I did smoke. I didn't smoke a lot, and I hadn't smoked for long, but I did smoke. So I stopped that because at that time I couldn't smoke at all. So that was the end of my smoking forever. And but I was told you need medication for the rest of your life. There's no way around it. You just need that. And I was like, I don't think so. Now, when I look back, and it's like I was pretty smart for that age, not wanting to have lifelong medication. So we actually moved out of the city into the country with, of course, less of the car exhaust fumes. I never had it again. It went away completely. And but still, if I did when I was young. I mean, in your 20s, you go out, you go to bars, and was not my thing because everybody was smoking there. Here in the U.S., at least, you had smoke-free areas, but back in the 70s in Holland, you didn't.
Even back in the 90s, if you went to like a dance club or anything like that, everybody smoked in there. And when you left, your hair smelled like it, your clothes smelled like it, but we were nose blind to it. I forget, I was somewhere recently and somebody was smoking, and I couldn't believe that I grew up in a home with smokers. And, even my husband had smoked, and I smoked too as a teenager, but fortunately not long. I mean, it was the cool thing to do. Everybody smoked, and it was everywhere basically growing up. But I'm so happy that it is gone. I cannot believe how much we all adapted to that back then.
Yeah, my parents both were smokers too, so I think that you do get used to it as a child. I could imagine that, being around it for the first time, that you start coughing because even smoking made me cough. It's like crazy that you even do it.
Mm-hmm.
But and that I talked about it with several times with people. It's like we thought it looked cool, and it looked cool to whom? To only to ourselves, Nobody thinks, oh my gosh, that girl is smoking. She looks so cool. It's not happening.
Well, that's what they brainwashed us into thinking.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, we're brainwashed into so many things. But yeah, with allergies, I think that we can heal it, and it's not overnight. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just get your body cleaner and get out all the junk food. I just saw a post in one of the Facebook groups about yeah, well, vegan is not healthy. Why is everybody looking so extremely sickly and underweight? And I'm like, well, we talk about with vegan as if we know what these people are eating. We don't. I mean, the vegan can be the most ridiculous food that you can think of. So it's so everybody goes all over like, yeah, well, I'm vegan. I'm eating healthy. And then when you hear what they are eating, I mean, all you did was leaving the animal food out, but there is still, when I hear someone's diet, it's still 95% junk food.
When I
So
hear
no.
someone call me a vegan or say like, oh, she's a vegan anymore, I feel like that's a bad word. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes with some people, it's an easy out, Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, no, I don't eat that. I'm vegan.
Yes.
But if you want to take it seriously, then no, it's not a good word.
Mm-mm.
And go into any health food store and small produce section, and then anything out of there is junk food.
Mm-hmm.
Anything outside the produce section is junk food. Period. That's it.
I'd rather you say like plant-based or something like that too, or I'm Whole Foods. I eat Whole Foods basically.
Yeah, but you know what? With Whole Foods, it can still be, oh, but I'm eating whole grains. It can still be
Correct.
grains. It can still be a ton of nuts and seeds,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still not. And even if it's Whole Foods, people look at a vegan burger, and it's like, well, there's these and these ingredients. That's all Whole Foods.
It's whole. All right.
So I eat fruit. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I eat fruit.
Yep.
And I noticed something, and we've talked about that before with eating fruit. I read a few posts, and anybody anybody who listens to this, look up Lauren Whiteman on Facebook. She is amazing how she explains things. Now they are in the natural hygienic diet. So that means no teas, no herbs. We don't go there. We do use the teas and the herbs because we believe they do help. But she is so amazing in explaining, what things do to the body. I always enjoy reading her posts. So you get a lot. I learn a lot from her, actually. And but she is a fruitarian, and she will explain about, you know, what vegan is and what it is not. And actually, a vegan diet doesn't even exist. You know, it was easy to call it out when you stop eating all animal derived foods. But other than that, it's kind of meaningless.
Well,
But,
everything's been just twisted anyway. So even if
yeah.
vegan was a wonderful term at one time, it's just been twisted so that the corporations can get on board and still be making money and follow the quote fad.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I do have something to mention about the video number 20. I did not put that on private. YouTube did. And the only thing that Sarah and I could think of, the reason was that we talked about food for a young person. I'm not even going to mention the name.
I'm glad you tiptoed around.
Yeah, I tiptoe around it because otherwise, you know, this one is going to be stopped too. There's a lot of things that you cannot see, and that is one really protective area. So that is a reason that that food, really great food that is available in Europe, is not allowed here in the US. Only the junk version is. The not healthy version is. So just so you know, that is not something I did. I already uploaded it to Rumble. And I think that is what I'm going to do in the next few weeks, is make sure that I have a copy of everything that is on YouTube is also on Rumble. The thing is, I'm not allowed to put a Rumble link there, because then they even remove my account, so I cannot do this.
Well, I do have a link tree, and I could add that to my link tree if you'd like. But I also do upload all of our shows to the podcast, and that is a true podcast. It's over. I promote it on Spotify, but I haven't moved it to a larger platform at this time. But I do have that episode over there as well, and I did take that part out as well too when we did speak of that. But it was basically just saying that the natural way is the best way to go. And we're pretty passionate about that, and that parents learning, ways, and, to be expecting, your children when they come, but I don't think anybody truly plans anything. But, just try to get yourself in the best shape you can too prior, and then prepare for it. And, the mother's way is usually the best way. And of course, if you can't, then you do have to find alternatives. But that was kind of it, with not so much passion behind it, I guess, of how that conversation really went. But that was pretty much the only thing we could really sum it up to why it might have got it taken down, or why it did get taken down.
Yeah, because the only other thing is we were talking about proteins. I think I forgot what it was. There was something
Sorry about those all the time, though.
Yeah, there was something that could have triggered it. I don't know. I see a question from Lucas. Is it good to drink grape juice with lemon juice to help your intestine? I don't know if it particularly helps your intestine, but grape juice with lemon is awesome. It helps you get the mucus out. So absolutely go for it. And recommended tea for kidneys. Well, we do have a kidney tea. And right now I do not have I may have the ingredients here, but I would have to look that up. But Dr. Morse has kidney tea. So you can go on his website and see what the I don't have the ingredients here, and you can see what are the ingredients, and you can put it together yourself. I bought 1 pound bags to make my own teas, and it definitely is cheaper than buying. But my gosh, if you buy one of these I think it's 6 or 8 ounce bags at Dr. Morse, it lasts you for like 2 months. So, and it costs $29. So I don't think that is, too expensive. That is, I do have discounts on Dr. Morse's formulas, like $3.50 on the tinctures and the glycerins and the capsules, but not on the teas, not on the teas and not on the glandulars. He had another question. If we do have an episode about kidneys, not specifically, but if you look on the channel, there are a lot of Dr. Morse short videos specifically about where he talks about the kidneys. And there are quite a few already uploaded. And we have been just, I think, more talking in general about how important it is to get the kidneys to filter. And I think it is important to know that as long as you keep eating proteins, and with proteins, it's not just meat, it's also the nuts, the seeds, you know, anything that has proteins in it. And so even if you are like, you know, plant-based, but you are eating a lot of nuts, and that is a mistake that I made like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, because I was like, my gosh, what am I going to eat if I don't eat this or this or this? And I was like, oh, okay, I can make crackers. And yeah, it was all nuts and seeds. And I got in such bad health and in so much pain, not realizing it was the proteins doing that. And it's not only, yeah, it causes inflammation. And when your kidneys are not filtering, even when you are like, you are weeks on only fruits, and or only fruit, and you may mostly fruit, because I hear people say, yeah, I'm 90% fruit. Okay, what is the 10%? The 90% is perfect, but what if the 10% is not perfect and stopping you from getting your kidneys to filter? Then you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. And for some people, we keep saying it over and over, it's like a short detox is not going to help you. It's a great start, because I know Dr. Morse is now doing on TikTok a 10-day grape juice or no, eating grapes, grape juice or eating grapes just for 10 days, only grapes. And we're getting into the grape season. So I saw that organic is available again. And still watch the organic too, and just do 10 days of grapes. And if you are like 3 days, I can't do anything more, okay, you know, then you stop and you try it again some other time. But it's like sometimes you can challenge yourself. Now, I'm not a fan of these, sorry, Dr. Morse, these short challenges if you come from a standard Western diet, because you're not going to feel great when you go, you know, cold turkey. Your body will respond, and you may not feel so good. I'm always for going slow, you know, already getting on the fruit wagon, so to speak. But those 10 days, I feel they would be great for people who already started with the fruit a lot. And then for those 10 days, you just leave out anything else that wasn't fruit, and you just see how you're doing. And I think then you don't shock your body as much as you would do when you come from a Western diet. Well, we call it a Western diet. It first was a standard American diet, SAD, SAD. I love those acronyms. It was pretty good. But now it's like, it's not just American, and it's not just Western. If I look at the cooking shows that always show up in front of me, I don't know why, on Facebook, when I'm scrolling through things, I see in a lot of Asian countries, and it's all eggs and meat and milk and cheese. It's like there is no recipe anymore without that. So the health problems are not just America. You know, the country may have the highest rate of obesity, but it's all over. It's all over the world.
Absolutely, it is. And I do see when I am watching like little videos or whatnot too, they're constantly frying eggs, cracking eggs, putting eggs. And I, at one point in my career, line of work histories. Right out of high school, I was working at a place in a lab where we did have viruses and whatnot, and we would feed the viruses. And it seems like every time we fed them, it was with egg. So pretty much viruses love eggs. And so that's just another reason maybe why to stay away from eggs. And I know what we think about viruses and whatnot too, but labs do have viruses, and I don't know exactly what all they do with them. They're supposed to just study them, but I do know that they do feed them eggs.
Yeah, they are created using eggs. And, a virus is just in our body. It's like a healing system. Outside our body, viruses don't even live. But I'm probably not allowed to say that.
Yep. Strike that from the record.
Said that. I didn't say it. I'll take it back.
Yep. No, eggs are great. Oh my gosh. No, what I was going to say too about, we were talking about the fast and kind of jumping in and doing it a little bit slower. I 100% agree with that. Of course, like you've said before in the past too, it depends on your urgency and why you're kind of turning to this and why you're doing this. The other thing I was going to say too is when people first get on this, they think, I feel amazing. I'm going to go out and start running now. I'm going to start lifting weights and going to the gym and doing all this other stuff. And I understand where you're coming from, because this might be the first time you do feel good enough to go out and run, or you do feel good enough that you can do this. And you're actually starting to really feel your body for the first time in like a more healthier state than what it's ever been in. But at the same time, in my opinion, I don't think we should not be running, and we definitely should not be running long distances. And I definitely don't think we should be at the gym working out and doing any kind of like heavy lifting or whatnot. I know we've talked about this in the past, but it can produce more acid buildup in your body, and it can be more acidic to your body as well. I'm a big fan of stretching, maybe like Tai Chi, yoga, and some good old fashioned outside working. I mean, have you ever push mowed a yard before, or cut down trees, or clean up brush? I'm sure there's plenty of neighbors or elderly people that need help. I mean, that right there, that'll give you muscles like you've never had before in your life. And it's good to be outside and sweating. And, you're also being kind and you're helping people. Or there's this other guy I started following. He goes and finds rivers and streams or creeks or ponds, and he cleans them out, and he pulls all this trash out of them. So he's getting exercise, he's outside, and he's being kind to the environment and helping. So there's plenty of different alternatives than just going to the gym and exercising and working out.
That is an amazing idea. We need to connect with that guy and get him on our new platform, Garden of Eden. Oh my gosh.
I do not believe he's probably anywhere near like on the fruit lifestyle, but I mean, he is being kind in other ways and helping out nature, and it's really neat. But yeah, I'll send you his link.
Well, we cannot limit, what we share to people who already understand. I mean, it's broader than that, but it is an amazing idea. And I never saw the need for gyms. I mean, I have been going there in the past, trying my best to lose weight. But when you think of it, people take their car to go to the gym and then go crazy on whatever, do the walking. And I'm like, why not go to a park and walk? You can have your cute little outfit on. I'm sorry.
That's true. And you will never build stamina. I should never say never, but you most likely will not build stamina at a gym. But working in a field, or working, doing like hard kind of labor like that, building a wall or anything like that, you have stamina that you've never knew you even had either. That's the other thing.
Yeah, and then you find out that that there were quite a few muscles that you haven't used in a while.
In the beginning, that's for sure.
Yeah, my husband had to move some furniture, and he is a truck driver, so there's not much exercise there other than run around that huge truck. But he was moving furniture, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot I had muscles there and there and there because they were hurting." But yeah, with exercising, it takes away from the healing in your body. The energy has to go there. And what you said, it is acidic, but I often hear people that I am so tired, I cannot do anything. And it's like, well, it's your body telling you, do not anything for now. Give in, give in when it is needed. And when it's needed for longer, give it a little bit more. And I can see why that is not possible for many of us. So we just do the best we can because people have jobs, they have to go. And that is when, your healing will slow down, but it still moves forward when you eat the right foods. And one other thing that comes up so many times, it's like I cannot deal with the hunger. And this morning I was reading a few posts where Lauren was actually Lauren Whiteman explaining about what hunger is. And normally we're not supposed to be hungry. And even when we eat fruit, like I'm on 100% fruit, nothing else, no fat, no proteins, it's just a fruit. And my fruit is watermelon, some berries, maybe a banana. I had a little pineapple. This week I didn't have any apples because I was too lazy to use them. So it was just watermelon. And I'm okay. I'm throughout the day, I'm fine. I don't have any hunger. It is like, okay, I could use some, and I get some more watermelon. But as soon as I eat on a cooked meal, oh my God, I think I have to sneeze. No, okay. Yeah, weird. But as soon as I eat something cooked, then it's like, my stomach starts with all the rumbles and the growling and the gas, and I want to eat more. So life is so much easier when you are on all fruit. There is, if you do it right, there is no hunger. And it may take a while before you can get there. For me, it's really easy. Even if I have, a week or 2 weeks with cooked food, and I know because inflammation kicks back in. So I know what I'm doing. And sometimes I still do it anyway for whatever reason. It's not important now. But it takes 2 days for me to overcome the hunger. But if you just start, it may take longer. But just love your body, give it what it needs. And it's not the cooked food, and it's not all whatever processed foods that you come across. The interesting thing is, when my husband started with his truck driving here, that was his retirement job here in the US, started 6 years ago. I was, you look at what food, because he's gone for 5 days, what food can they eat, what is available. And if you look at these truck stops, it's all sausages and not healthy, nothing healthy there. They have a Dunkin' Donuts. They have what is it? The one that has that bread, and you can choose what you put on it.
Subway.
Oh yeah, Subway. And so we didn't want to eat that. And I was coming up with all kinds of options that we could do. And we just started with that was all raw. It wasn't even all fruit, because the all fruit, it's only been 3 years. But so we started figuring out what to do. And I was like, my gosh, I should make like a daily package that a truck driver can buy. And here is all your food and nutrition for the day, and sell that in truck stops. But that was still with the nuts and the seeds and things in that too. So I learned more, and I'm happy I did. But yesterday I was traveling, long trip. And we had to, because of course I have my bathroom breaks every 3 hours, and so we stopped at a truck stop, and yeah, there's a whole wall with all the sausages. They're being heated up and other stuff. The sausages. No, there is sausage and was something else, but pizza stuff. But on the other side, I saw fruit bowls. And they were kind of hidden, but they were there and cooled, and they were, oh my gosh, if they had like one cut of apple, like, that was in a plastic thing, it was $3. And my husband said, oh, a little short time ago, they were only like 150. But things are changing slowly. You see more and more and more fruit. So the more that we get the word out, the more people will be asking for it. And I think that is how we can make our changes. Although there was I don't know if it sent that to you, Sarah. I don't think so. Willem, my husband, sent it to me. There was actually an article, and I'm not sure which outfit it was on. It was mainstream media. And they said they now had found hepatitis A, I think, on organic strawberries and other organic fruit from Walmart and Trader Joe and other outfits.
I did see
was
that.
like, there we go.
Yeah. Immediately when I thought of that, I was like, it won't phase you if you're on all fruit anyway. But I don't know if that was a good thought to have.
In a way it is, because you can handle more, and whatever happens, you detox it out, because now we know what to do. Our immune system gets stronger. But like Dr. Morse was on one of his latest videos, and he did quite a few in the last week. He had food poisoning, and everybody the same he ate with because of a tainted salad. So it can happen. And I had food poisoning last year, and that was, for me, I knew what it was because I got so sick, and all I had was some salad. Yep. It can happen, and I was in pain. Now, I never throw up, so that was not the thing. But other than that, my day was spent in the smallest room in the house. And I stopped eating and drinking. I knew this is what my body needs. I just need to fast. And I did that for 24 hours, nothing. That was my dry fast, was complete fast. And the pain was over, the bowel movements were getting better. And then I started with 1 day of water, only water. Actually, that was 3 days, carefully. And I didn't have a desire for anything else. So this is how we heal, not with all kinds of things to, even if it's over the counter, even if it's something that gets the toxins out faster, like what is it called? The charcoal? I think that is what it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, the black charcoal or something, activated charcoal. Yeah.
Yes.
So you can do that when you're poisoned, but I chose to do it this way, and it was just complete fast. And your body will heal. But I'm not going to tell you, you have to do that. This is what I did. This is what worked for me. So it's always your choice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do agree with that. And the more healthier you can get your body, the more easier it's going to be able to fight it off. But we are bombarded with things constantly being tossed at us. So your body is always going to be in a constant state of healing and rejuvenating itself. So that way, it can be more prepared and your immune system can be stronger. But with everything at us all the time, it's just much harder. However, when you are eating just fruit, it's very good on very easy on our digestion. So our body has enough time to go out and fight other things instead of working on digestion all the time. The one thing too that kind of stuck with me when we were talking with that lady last Tuesday evening, was it Lauren or Laura?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, that show we did. I feel terrible now, but my mind's in a thought process right now, so I can't really think of anything else. But she talked about we've eaten cooked food for so long, and cooked food really dehydrates us so much. And that's because it does really work on our digestive system so much, and it takes so much energy from our body. So if we're eating just fruit, it's very easily to digest, and it doesn't take as much resources within our body.
Yeah, absolutely. And with cooked food, I can feel it. I always am thirsty. When I'm on all fruit, I'm not thirsty at all. And since I know I still am still acidic, so I do drink water, but I have to remind myself. Easiest for me is make that 1 liter of distilled water with a lemon and a little maple syrup in it, and have that right next to me. That is what reminds me to drink. But other than that, I would forget to drink water.
Yep. And her name is Alexandra Kenny.
Yeah,
Lauren is the lady. Lauren Whiteman is the lady you just spoke of. That's why her name came to my mind.
Yeah.
Grant has a question about what to do about saggy and wrinkly skin if you've lost a third of your body weight.
Yeah, I saw that question. That is a tough one. It's like, it hasn't, I've been, I had weight issues since I was a young teenager. So there were always ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, even at my age, I still don't have that wrinkly and sagging skin. And I don't know why that is. It depends on your age, but I've seen people in barely in their 20s that lost a lot of weight. And I mean a lot of weight, like 100 or maybe 100 pounds. And their skin is all sagging and wrinkly, and it doesn't tighten anymore. My skin has always tightened very well with all the ups and downs. And the difference with my weight was often 50, 70 pounds easily. I would think it has to do also with the connective tissue, and it is part of healing. There is nothing extra that you can do than just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, with people, I've seen videos of people who lost like 200-300 pounds and like half their body weight, and they needed surgery because there was no way that skin was ever gonna get tight again. I on all fruit, you actually see like wrinkles disappear. I don't talk often about my health because not my health. I do talk about my health, not about my age, because it is such a weird number. But this morning I had some people working here in the house, and we started talking about health, and I mentioned my age, and they were like, "What?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's nice, but not that really that important." But I'm 70. And I always say I'm forever 38 because this is how I feel in my mind. I don't know how important that is for your health and how much that reflects on physically, but I don't know. And maybe it's also changed because my mother always looked much younger than she was, so did my grandmother. But yeah, on the other hand, it's like, all you can do at this point is keep doing what you're doing, and make sure that you're well hydrated. Usually it's dehydration issue, so you may look into that. I don't know if you want to talk about age and how long you've been doing the all fruit, and if you are on 100% fruit with some veggies and no oils and no seeds or nuts, and just how is it going. But hydration is a big part of it, and we are all, I think, as humanity, is just dehydrated. We all are.
Yep. So I 100% agree with that, especially with what we just talked about with Alexandra saying about the cooked foods. They've just dehydrated us so much. I mean, if you look at a raisin, when the grape was very hydrated, it was all plump and good and everything. And then when it's dehydrated, it becomes that wrinkly little raisin. So that eventually is what ends up
that
happening
shows
to
it.
us.
Yeah, that shows it. That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the hydration for sure. Why can't I think of the name of what keeps our skin taut in the first place? Collagen? I don't know. But I
Yeah.
see that all the time too. Everyone's taking collagen supplements, and I'm just like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't talk about that.
You
But
know, it's like, your body knows what to do. And I always come back to when people think, yeah, but I need that because it seems I'm not connected now.
no, oh wait. Yeah, the YouTube is spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, but there's nothing that I can change here. So maybe the people on YouTube listening cannot hear us. That would be kind of sad.
Yeah, I hope they can.
I
I
think
just put a little message on there too.
yeah,
It looks like it's okay now, but I'm waiting to see if we can hear a comment, if anyone can hear us. Yes. Okay.
okay. We are back.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Grant.
It was a
Reboot.
short, yeah, no, I'm not gonna reboot anything because then you're all gone. Yeah.
But I think definitely staying hydrated with the fruits and the fruit juices and eating the fruits, and of course drinking your water to help remove any of it. But the other thing I thought of too was the stagnated lymph, cellulite, where people have cellulite. Is that stagnated lymph usually?
Yeah.
Okay. And then to me, like when I'm visualizing, I imagine in between the muscle and the skin is a stagnated lymph, and it's causing the cellulite and whatnot too. And then that is causing the collagen maybe to loosen around the skin a little bit too much. But, just stay on the path, trust it, and hopefully it will kind of come back. But yeah, that is a decent amount of weight to lose. Grant said he went from 205 to 130 in a year. And, so that can be a pretty big change, but, hopefully your skin will build back up and it won't be so wrinkly or whatnot.
Yeah, it's the dehydration. Because if you look at what people usually eat, it's with regularly, the standard diet. You have a big glass of water always. People. I was so surprised to see that here in the U.S. that people were drinking with their meals. That was not done in the Netherlands. We don't drink with our meals. Maybe have a glass of wine and sip something, but I was never into wine, so I didn't do that. But I never drank anything with my meals, and that is where you've already start messing up because I drank with my meals. Well, that didn't help. It didn't help with your hydration at all. And then when you ask, how much do you really drink? It's like, oh yeah, tea and coffee and a Coke, and it's like, okay, people are just dehydrated. And it's not the water. And who drinks, who eats a lot of fruit, enough fruit to be hydrated? We know, so we do, but many people don't. So that's why I always say, start your day with fruit. I don't care if it's fruit juice. I know Lauren is saying, it's not natural to use the juices, but with a watermelon, there's not a lot of fiber in it. And weird thing is, I love watermelon juice, good watermelon. And even if it's not organic, the juice is absolutely great. But if I eat the watermelon, I always found pieces that have no taste at all, or others that are very sweet. And if I put them all through the juicer, the taste is just right. So I was like, well, hey, Grant, you thought we all had some magic potion? We do. We have the magic potion. Fruit and more fruit.
Fruit and God.
Yeah. I heard Dr. Morse say something yesterday about bananas because people are worried about, a lot of the food shortages too. He says bananas are actually the best food that you can imagine. If you could live on only bananas. Now, when you're detoxing, I'm not suggesting you would do that or you have a ton of health issues. But now you go, say that you go into the direction of survival food. I was talking about this on this long trip with my husband. It's like he gets all these emails about, survival food. You can buy that in packages and enough for a year and for a household like this, etc. And I was thinking, because we are so blessed in, because I see on how little I can feel good. Now we know fruit is expensive. I mean, I bought, I was at Whole Foods, what is it, a week ago. I bought a lot of frozen fruit. It was $450, but I was looking at it and I was like, well, I could live on that for probably 2 months. So it's not that bad. But I could live on what would it be, like half a watermelon in a day and one smoothie. And my smoothie has one smoothie is half a liter of coconut water and 1 pound of fruit. And then the half a watermelon, I think I barely spent $10, $15, and that would be for a day. So I think, and it comes to it, you could live on like $20 maximum in a day. And not, I don't need that survival food. And I can go with less, but this is the maximum of what I use in a day. I don't know how that is with you, Sarah, but you have experience with your family, how that would work.
Well, my family still eats the SAD diet. But we do not cook in our home at all because I can't stand the smells of it. And my husband will occasionally, but we're usually kind of on the go anyway. But he definitely jumps on board and he'll do the orange juice and do all the fruits and salads and everything. But I mean, he still definitely likes what he likes. And my son, he does orange juice, but that's as far as we've gotten so far with him. But that'll be a story for another time. But yeah, so we do a lot of oranges though, is the thing. And that can be, I think we get 3 boxes of 88s, and that is for the 2 of us. And I think they're $37 each, and they last us a whole week. And then I think we'll do like a watermelon, I guess like every other day or something like that, especially this time right now. So, I mean, it is. And then just lettuce, which actually I was watching videos on how to grow lettuce and not only grow it, but seed save the lettuce. So that way you could just continually regrow it. But like a real soft kind of butter lettuce or whatnot.
Yeah, that is the one I like too. Last week I actually made a smoothie that what is his name? I think his name is Chris from the Raw Advantage, and he had made a smoothie that was I don't know if we talked about that before. We may have. It was about 14 dates and 1 head of iceberg lettuce. And then cover it with good water, and you have a smoothie. So even that I even gave us 2 smoothies, and it was actually pretty delicious. So it was something that I never had, but it was because iceberg, they always say it has no nutrition in it. That was the first thing we heard when it finally was available in the Netherlands. But it is watery. It has a lot in it. But, everything that's good for us, you know how it goes.
Absolutely. And we do banana. My husband does do a smoothie every morning though. So that is his go-to. He used to do oatmeal all the time, but he gave up the oatmeal and he does a smoothie. So he's a lot further along than I guess I'm really giving him credit for.
Yeah, just starting the day with a smoothie, or I do orange juice, and I use about 12 oranges and 1 grapefruit. I think if you calculate how much it costs, it would be maybe $10 for that one. But my God, it lasts me for 4 or 5 hours. I don't need anything else. Mm-hmm. That is what I said. When you are on all fruit, you just start eating less. You don't worry about the next meal. And it may take some time before you can get there, but it's just like, I can only say, don't get discouraged.
That's right.
I have my moments. It's like, oh my gosh, I would like something, something salty. And that is another thing with the salt. I'm a salt eater. I never cared for sweets, didn't care for pastries and bonbons and all that, although I did like the dark chocolate. But anything salty, oh my gosh, salty chips, spicy stuff, delicious. So I used quite a bit of salt, and I toned it down with using spicy herbal salt from Dr. Fogel. But 2 days in 100% fruit, there is no craving for salt. It's like, how crazy is that? All of a sudden, your body doesn't need it anymore, and your blood pressure goes down, normalizes, and everything is just easier. And I know that when you still have salt cravings, it's like, oh my God, just keep trying it, keep going to that goal for eventually all fruit, with here and there a salad. And with adding salads, I mean, people add what is it, carrots, cauliflower, broccoli. Those things are hard on your digestion. Stick with the leafy greens, not kale. Kale is not a soft leafy green. You can eat it once in a while, but then massage it. When I first heard that or saw that about massaging a kale.
And imagine that kale was pushed so hard.
Yeah, and it's tough on your digestive system. So we have to be aware of it. And yeah, there is such a variety, and I'm always like, okay, if it doesn't grow in the wild, it's probably not meant for us. And I haven't checked. Do watermelons grow in the wild? Probably.
I don't know. Maybe down in the south somewhere. We have wild strawberries all over our field. And I was going to say too, like, speaking of the wild, see what you can forage. I mean, I've been walking past this tree now for the past, I don't know, 8 months. I did not realize it was a mulberry tree. And I know where other mulberry trees are because we've picked from them ever since we were kids. And so I was showing, we have new neighbors that live near my mom. And so we were showing the little kids, like, like, you can eat these once they turn purple. And the lady was like, these are so expensive to buy in the store. I said, yeah, but they're free right here. And then out on our little trip yesterday too, we found a huge mulberry tree. And so they are in season right now, and they're turning purple. They've been turning purple the last couple of days. So go out and fill up some bowls and freeze them or whatever you want to do with them. But we like to just sit there and eat them.
Yeah, that would be good. I see that, who was it? Oh yeah, Jacob, you mentioned Dr. Sebi and Santos. Santos is really big on mineral salts. And I don't think that we need that. And so I'm not, we're not going there. With Dr. Sebi, before I met Dr. Morse, and actually, before I met followed Medical Medium, I did follow Dr. Sebi with everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could go to that retreat that he had. And, that would help, and I would learn more, because I was pretty desperate. My health was so bad. But following his advice did not help me. He has a lot of things that are good, but Dr. Sebi goes so far into what is a hybrid food and what is not. Well, you can look in the produce aisle in your grocery store, and you look at all the foods and then wonder, okay, what is not a hybrid food? Everything is. In the hybrid foods, it's like they have been around for thousands of years. So I think you kind of go wrong with that, and then worry too much. it is, we just go fruit, you know, and it's like, and we don't need any supplements. And herbs, okay, you know, the right herbal formula, but not to treat a symptom. We have to heal the body. We do not treat. Treating means that you suppress your symptoms, and that is not healing. And even though, you know, Dr. Morse and even I were big on the herbal formulas to help people, but it's still always diet comes first. Would it help if you are on a standard diet and then use the formulas? Well, maybe a little, you know, but I would not do it. If you cannot take your diet seriously and you only want to add something to it in the hope that it helps, then I'm like, don't waste your money, you know. Get into the mindset of healing, that you really want to heal your body and start changing your diet. And if that change takes a year, it doesn't matter. You know, you don't have to change in a day or in a week or even 3 months. If it takes a year, that's okay. But be on that path of changing that diet to mostly fruit and some salads. And you will see healing in the meantime. I mean, I started healing when I first started leaving out all the animal food, but you know, made the mistake to add way too much fats and proteins. But once I learned that, you know, I stopped doing that and I saw the healing. And to me, it doesn't matter if it goes slow, because I didn't want to shock my body. I had already enough problems. I didn't need to add more. So I just took it slow, and it went well. So
And this is part of your journey too. There are no mistakes. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. This is part of your journey. It's another lesson that you need to learn, apparently, and your body will adjust when it's time for it to adjust. And just take time and be kind and enjoy the experience.
that's what we need to do. And actually, I mentioned before that about my plan, and I'm working on it, Garden of Eden. And this is what we want to bring out to people, everything that we can think of to make life better, beautiful, peaceful, and how to grow things. What do we feed our children, and what do we teach our children? What is important for your children to learn? And there's so much that we can do, and I hope all you guys, you're going to be part of that. I mean, for me, it goes slow because I'm the only one working on it. And I have the date that I want to open it. It was June, July. I think I set it for August the 1st. I don't know if that is a reasonable goal for me to open it up. And of course, we cannot. There's so many things we need to learn, and this is where Charlie comes in, because he explains so many things about life so very well. But yeah, so that will be there too.
That's very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. The other thing I wanted to touch on is I did make a post on A Freak Sense World, but it's also over on my blog as well. I came upon a video, it was on TikTok, of I guess he's a pastor. His name's Jerry Flowers Jr. And he did a sermon. It's called "You're Speaking My Language." And he said in it, he said that God will separate you before he takes you to the next level. And the reason he does that is so that you can clearly hear his voice, that he does not want you distracted by your coach's voice or friends or coworkers or whoever it is that we're constantly listening to other people and hearing other things. But I know a lot of us feel alone and that we're out on an island, but you're on that island for a reason. And that's so that you can hear what God is trying to say to you, and you can receive those tools that you need to go on to the next level. We are all here at this time for a very, very important reason. And I know we all feel it. And we have heard the call. So that is why we are here and we are listening. So just know that you are very fortunate. Even though you feel alone, you're not. We are together and we are all finding each other, and we are shining our lights and we are becoming stronger.
that is a perfect thing to end our call with. It's a little over an hour, and it is what you just said is so important, and I'm feeling it, and I'm so happy about it. And yeah, we are all on that journey, and we need to learn to listen, and then know. That is what I loved so much about Charlie, and I had to figure that out. Why, he comes across the way he does is he is in the knowing, and not all of us are yet. I'm getting there. It's sometimes it is a struggle, but then it's like, no, I know how what God wants, and I know what God is telling me, and now I just need to listen. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely. And definitely, I know it's a TikTok, but still, I've even been looking at TikTok more of, is it a tool that people are using to have a voice to really get people to wake up? And there was another guy I watched real quick that he said that I know that my phone I'm using is also a tool they use against us to trap us into the matrix further. But at the same time, this is the tool that I can use to connect with multiple people, whereas before I would have never been able to reach the people I can reach now. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, listen to God's voice, and always remember everything is within you. It is like you are the one, like it's within you. You are the light of the world, as Charlie always says.
Yeah, be the light.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for being here again, and thank you, Sarah, for your beautiful additions. I always love them, always enjoy it, always enjoy, talking here. And I hope some people will be on here live that are here in the chat. I would love to hear your voice.
We would love to.
So one of these days. So guys, till the next week, same time, we will be here. I'm gonna work on that silly Wi-Fi here, because I don't think I need a week to make it work.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So thanks everyone, and till the next time, and be the light.
Yes. Bye-bye.